Okay, today we're going to go over 533, 534, review and preview. Problem 91 says to find the area of each parallelogram below, show all of your work. Okay, as a reminder, the area formula for finding the area of parallelograms, area equals base times height. So, part A equals B times H. It's 5 times 14. So I'm going to figure out what 5 times 14 is. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. It equals 70, and then I have to put my label. 70 meters squared. Part B, I have my base and my height. Again, it wants me to show my work, so I'm going to show each step. A equals 8 times 17. 17 times 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Okay, so I put my 6, carry my 5. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 is 13. Area equals 136 inches squared. Okay, problem 92. Sorry about that. Problem 92. Find the area of the following triangles. Show all of your work. So we discussed this today. It could be A is base times height divided by 2. The video, it was 1/2 times the base and height. So, for part A, area is my base times my height divided by 2, which is 12 times 27, because my base is my 27, my height is 12, all divided by 2. So I'm going to do this over here. 27 times 12. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry my 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. But my 0 is my placeholder. 1 times 7. 2 times 1. Add 4 plus 0. 5 plus 7 is 12. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this equals 324. But I still need to divide by 2. 2 goes into 3 one time. 2 goes into 12 6 times. And 2 goes into 4 2 times. This equals 162 feet. 162 feet squared. Okay, part B. Area equals base times height divided by 2, which is 8.5 times 9 divided by 2. So, 8.5 times 9. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 8 is 72, plus 4 is 76. I have to put my decimal point in. So I have 76.5 divided by 2. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 2 times 3 is 6. I subtract to bring down my 6. 2 goes into 16 8 times. I drop down the 5. 2 goes into 5 2 times, which leaves a 1, and I bring a 0 down. 2 goes into 10 5 times. I bring up my decimal point. My answer is 38 and 25 hundredths millimeters. Okay. Moving to problem number 93. Graph the trapezoid. A is 6'5", B is 8, -2. C is 4, -2. D is -2, 5. So I'm going to plot all those points and make a trapezoid. So I have 6, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to label it with an A. Point B is 8, -2. So this is 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. So this is B. C is -4, -2. D is -2, and then I go up 5. So I'm going to connect all my lines so I can see the trapezoid that I made. Okay. So find the length of the bottom base segment, so CB. CB. So I'm going to find that. And then I'm going to find AD. And then I'm going to find the distance between the two bases, which is called the height. I can use grid units. I can do this two ways. I can choose to count. So if I start at point D, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or to practice finding distance using absolute value, I can look at A, which is 6, 5, and D, which is -2, 5. Say, okay, the 6 and the -2 are my values that are different. So I'm going to put them in between an absolute value sign and subtract them. 2 negatives make a positive. The absolute value of 6 plus 2 is the absolute value of 8, which equals 8. I can do the same thing with CB. So I'm going to do that down here. So C is -4, -2. B is 8, -2. I have -4 and 8. So -4 and 8. And I subtract them. -4 minus 8, I'm going to keep going to the left. So -8 minus 4 is -12. Okay. The absolute value of -12 is 12. Okay. Now, to find the height that's perpendicular, what I'm going to do is I can take points and figure it out, but I'd have to not use a point that's given to me. So I'm actually going to count. So I have one, I'm going to use a different color. So I'm going to start at point D and I'm going to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are 7 units apart from the top length to the bottom length. So between my bases. Okay. Problem number 101. Choose any strategy to find the area of each shape below. Use the information in the math notes box for help. We don't have that, but I did write down the formula for area. We're going to assume that the shape in part A is a parallelogram and the shape in part B is a trapezoid. So, if we're assuming that, we're going to start with part A. So, part A. Parallelogram, area equals base times height. My base is 4. My height is 5. 4 times 5 is 20. And then I put my label. Moving to part B. It is a trapezoid. We've been told it's a trapezoid, so I have to figure out where my bases are. So my area, remember I add my bases, so 6 plus 11, multiply it by my height, and divide by 2. So 6 plus 11 is 17 times 8, divide by 2. 17 times 8, 8 times 7 is 56. 8 plus 5 is 13. It's 136 divided by 2. 2 goes into 13 6 times. 2 goes into 16 8 times. So it's 68 inches squared. Problem 104. Write an algebraic expression to represent the length of each segment shown below. I am going to add what I see. So I have n plus n plus n plus 15. I don't have to have an equal sign. I don't know what it equals. I need an expression. So part B, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2x. Part C, I have 17 plus x plus 10. I could choose on any of these. So if I go back to part B, 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. I can combine it. So 15 plus 2x, they equal each other. I could, on part C, combine 17 plus 10, which is 27 plus x plus x. I could go a step further and say, well, I have 27 plus 2 x's. Same thing with part A. If I go back, I have 3 n's plus 15. Moving to problem 105, we are not using a calculator for these. I am adding, subtracting, and multiplying. So part A, I'm going to be adding, but I need to make sure that all my decimals line up. And remember, I can fill in with zeros if I need to. Okay, starting here. 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 plus 0 plus 0. 2 plus 0 plus 0. Drop my decimal point. 2 plus 1 is 3. 6 plus 0 plus 0. It equals 63 and 248 thousandths. Part B, I'm subtracting 56 and 7/10 minus 0 and 23 hundredths. I have to borrow a tenth from my tenths place. 10 minus 3 is 7. 6 minus 2 is 4. 6 minus 0 and 5 minus 0. It equals 56 and 47 hundredths. Part C, I'm multiplying 7 and 8/10 times 0 and 3 hundredths. 8 times 3, 24. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 2. 8 times 0, put in my placeholder. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 0 is 0 plus 2. And 7 times 0. And then I add. 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 0 is 2. 0. I have, I'm going to use a highlighter for this. I have 1, 2, 3 numbers behind my decimal. So I move my decimal point 3 places over. So it equals 0 and 234 thousandths. Part D, 6 3/10 minus 7 5/10. I know I'm going to get a negative number. Okay. I'm going to end up pretending that, not pretending. I know it's going to be negative. It's kind of like subtracting 6 3/10 from 7 5/10, except for that I know my answer is going to be negative. So 5 minus 3 is 2. Drop down my decimal. 7 minus 6 is 1. The difference is 1 2/10. And again, my answer is going to be negative. As always, if you need help or have extra questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.